What's up, guys? Welcome to Stories and Sound. I'm Francis here with Michael from No Transitory.
That's me.
How's it going, man?
Going pretty good.
Yeah. Sweet. So, first off, tell us a little about who you are and what No Transitory is.
Okay, well, I'm Michael. I'm a musician from Auckland, and No Transitory is a project that I started with my brother Mark, and at the moment it's just a recording project, but we have made some plans very soon to take it a step further. And we've written an EP, it's out now, and working on a second.
Me? Yeah, cool. So finding a band name is a bit of a hard task.
Yeah.
What does the name No Transitory mean, and how did it come about?
Well, the very first time that I saw that phrasing, it's actually off an Alexis on Fire song.
Okay.
It's a really good song, by the way, you should check it out. And yeah, I just really like the phrasing of it, and I'm kind of one of these guys that collects band names, because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know when you're going to be in one band and out another, so you always have to have some handy. So I've got like a thing on my phone, just band names. Anyway, that was one of them.
Yeah.
And I kind of just liked it, and I picked it randomly, and then it's kind of funny how things work out because the transitory refers to a state of change, and then the no in front of it kind of negates it. So it's kind of, to me, it's sort of become a personal statement about just sort of me and who I want to be in my life as a musician, and saying, no, I'm not going to change. This is it.
Stick to your guns.
Stick to your guns. That's it. And the name has become really significant, even though it wasn't in the beginning.
Yeah, it didn't initially start that way, but you've sort of grown into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You've become the name.
I have become the name. We are one.
What other options did you sort of pass by?
I can't remember. I'd have to get my phone out, and I literally just turned it off. So I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's all right. So what got you into music and playing guitar? Because you say you're your brother in this band. Does it have quite a big place in your family?
It's sort of half-half. Not my parents' generation, but like my grandparents played. I think like my auntie's a really amazing pianist. Yeah. And Mark's one of those guys that's played guitar since he was very little, like 8 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't get into it a lot later, till I was like 14, 15.
Okay. And
it was sort of just the curiosity factor, because I'd always steal his guitars and start playing it. And then, I couldn't put two and two together. I didn't realize that this hand had to sort of make the note, and then this made the sound.
Yeah.
So I'd pick it up and I'd just strum openly and be like, why isn't it working? What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So it was kind of just that frustration and that curiosity to try and get it to all work. That sort of got me into music. And Mark helped a lot because, he listened to a lot of bands like Incubus and Tool and Korn and stuff like that. So that's all I'd be hearing through the wall, through the next wall, growing up. So I had a very good start in terms of influences.
Yeah. So on that, what influences you guys, like as a band and sort of you personally?
Personally, not too sure. I think the CD that we've just put out is a real, it's a real direct reflection of the influences that we have. Bands like Tesseract and Monuments and Carnival and Disperse, Incubus as well. I think when you listen to a lot of that kind of music, I think even when you write music and you think it's original, you're really just subconsciously picking out things that you've heard, the best of all the bits that you've heard. You know? And I think that's kind of what we've done on our latest CD. But a lot of stuff influences us. Like all the lyrics and stuff for this latest EP is like, it's all sort of taken from personal experience. Mark and I were kind of going through some stuff at that time, and it's all really melded together really well. Lots of stuff.
So lyrically definitely like an outlet kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. So your music is quite guitar driven. So am I right in saying that guitars and music comes first in the writing process, and then vocals and lyrics at the end? Yeah,
that is right. It's funny because guitar is usually always the first thing, especially for me because that's my instrument.
Yeah.
And so I'll sit there and I'll write a whole bunch of stuff, and that's always the first thing. Mark writes the vocals and does everything afterwards. But the cool thing is that he kind of produces me as an instrumentalist.
Okay.
So I'll send him parts of the song and be like, well, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And he'll be like, okay, I think this is the verse. I think this is the chorus. And we really work together at trying to bring it up, even though I am sort of bring the initial ideas to the table. And then we kind of switch at the end. So when Mark does that, his vocals, I'll do the same thing to him.
Okay.
So we sort of self-produce each other.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good because, I think my sort of strong points are writing for this genre, and his strong points are definitely writing vocals for this genre.
Yeah.
So it's like we're kind of doing something that the other person can't do, and that kind of makes it a perfect sort of marriage of sound, really.
Yeah, and it's good having those outside ears. Well, no, not necessarily outside ears, but someone who's going to be working on the project, but not a little bit later to say, actually, right now I don't quite know where this is.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's awesome to have that input from somebody that actually cares.
Yeah. So what is it that you like most about creating and writing music, and what do you sort of like the least?
It's funny, I love the end product. I love sitting back and being like, wow, holy crap, I created that. Like, that's a really, it's a really big thing for me. And what I hate is literally everything else. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I'm extremely lazy, and I'm kind of one of these guys. So I'll like be sitting on the couch with my guitar and I'll be trying to write some music, and I'll come up with a melody or a chord progression, and then I don't know, this might sound a bit weird, but I kind of get like a flash forward into the future. I get like a premonition of what that song is kind of going to sound like.
Yeah.
And if I don't get one of those, then I kind of know the idea isn't worth pursuing.
Yeah, you kind of shelve it.
But the weird thing is that I get a glimpse of the song. I know it sounds so weird, but I get kind of a glimpse of the song in the future, and then I know that it's going to work, because of that, because I have that feeling.
Yeah.
But getting from A to B to that point is just stressful. Yeah. Like I hate recording, I hate the studio, I hate everything, but I love that initial feeling, and then I love the end. And I'm just a lazy guy. But I'm really proud of that CD that we've just put out. I've kind of learning to knuckle down a bit more and be like, no, I can actually do this. This is
what we can actually do.
Exactly.
If I put my mind to it.
If I stop being so damn lazy, that's it.
So have you been in other bands in the past, and sort of how does it differ being in a band with your brother as opposed to sort of non-relatives?
I don't know about the non-relative thing, but it's definitely being in a smaller group as opposed to a bigger group is something. I have been in a lot of other bands in the past. I studied music, and so I had to play in heaps of bands and play a whole bunch of different genres. Yeah. But it's really great just being with Mark and just having two people, because I'm sure, as you heard before, the bigger your band is, it's the bigger the democracy.
Yeah, and also the more egos that come in.
The more egos, and it's very difficult to get your own way, and to also make sure that everyone's on the same page musically as well. Totally. 5 out of the 6 people or 4 out of the 6 people can be on one page, and then you can be on another, which has happened to me in the past. Yeah. And that's exactly why Mark and I have decided to keep this as small as possible in the beginning. We do want to have a band, and we do want to have contributing people, but I think by starting small and releasing a couple of things first, we can really make sure that the people that do join the band will be on the same wavelength as us. That's sort of,
especially you've got that catalogue to show this is us.
Exactly.
What do you think?
They know exactly what they're getting into as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sweet. So your EP Collide, it's got an awesome sound to it. The songs just, I don't know, they blew me away when I heard them.
Thanks, man. That's awesome.
And not just great for a Kiwi band, but like internationally as well. It's huge. How long were you guys working on these songs before you decided to record and release them?
It was a pretty solid year. I had a lot of ideas floating around for a while, and again, talking about how I kind of hate the recording process. I probably could have knocked it out in a couple of months. But that's just the way it happened. So it took about a year, pretty much from January actually up until October, I think we recorded it. Okay. And they were all pretty new songs though. Yeah, definitely written within that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you bring sort of outside sort of like riffs or something like that, or was it all kind of pretty much fresh?
There's one song that I had brought to a previous band that I brought to this one, but other than that, it's 100% new.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick, really.
Yeah. It was only 5 songs. Yeah. But it's 5 songs at like 31 minutes or something stupid like that, so we probably should have kept them shorter.
You worked with Zoran Mendonça on this release.
Yes.
What was it that he brought to the table that made you want to go with him?
Well, Zoran is a guy who was sort of a bit of a myth to me because Mark's worked with him several times in all of his previous bands. I think at some point he'd recorded like every single thing with Zoran.
Yeah.
In all the other previous projects, and so he's someone that I heard about for like 8 or 9 years or something like that. You know, Mom, I'm going to Zoran's house, or I'm going to record Zoran. You know, like so it's just this bit of a myth to me, and so you know, I had a few options of who to record with, but I was just too curious. I was like, oh my god, I got to find out who this guy is.
Yeah.
You know, and he doesn't have like a typical name. You know, and so I was like, oh god, I have to go meet this guy.
Yeah.
And it was great. We just met up, and you know, I sent him a couple of demos. He was really keen, and we just ended up talking about Carnival for 2 hours, and it was great. And then we just knew, oh, like, yes, okay, I have to record with you. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just completely knocked it out of the park. You know, he's a really great guy at interpreting just like stupid adjectives that you throw at him. It has to sound more like this, or it has to sound more like this. You know, because
like,
I don't know what I'm doing. And he's like, how about this? Okay with this. So he's just extremely talented. Yeah. And we're super happy with the product we got from him.
It sounds wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you're a band of 2 members, how did you go about recording the album? Like, who did what?
Well, Mark sang, obviously. Yeah. I originally thought about doing some harmonies, and then I just thought, we'll leave it to the pros. So I'd sort of written everything at home on a computer, and I'll be the first to admit that our drums are completely programmed. We didn't get a drummer in, but that's just what you have to do when you have 2 people and you want to get something out quickly.
Yeah.
And it sounds really good, you know. But I did make the effort and wrote everything myself. So I wrote all these drum parts, which I'm actually kind of proud of because I'm not a drummer, and I kind of just did like, what do I think is going to sound good? And then Zoran really helped me sort of hone in the parts for the drums and just be like, okay, well, in this part, your drummer needs to have 4 hands in order to do it. So it's probably not going to be that realistic. So he would just kind of sit there and air drum and be like, okay, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
So he tweaked it and made it a lot more better for the songs in general.
Yeah.
And then guitars, I recorded all the guitars and all the bass myself.
Yep.
And Mark sang on that.
Yep.
That was it.
What sort of programming, sort of software?
We recorded on Cubase.
Yeah.
And Cubase.
Yeah. Sweet. So outside of what gear did you use? Like guitars and...
So I used my Schecter Hellraiser 6-string for all of our sort of distorted tones. And I used a Fender Stratocaster for all the clean stuff. Just has these like single coil pickups in it that just make it so much more chimier, and it really pops out in the mix.
Yeah.
So 2 guitars to do 2 very different things. And it's kind of very representative of the genre as well, because it's very intense in some parts and very clean in the others. So it made sense to have 2 different tones like that. And I just sold that Stratocaster as well. I'm super bummed. But it's all right. I've still got my Schecter, and I'll never sell that one.
Yeah.
All the guitars recorded with the Axe-Fix 2.
Yeah.
And Zoran has an Ultra, which we use the bass for. And I can't remember what mic we used. It was a really tiny mic, but it sounds great.
Yeah. So on the album, actually, you featured Steve Bogue featured a solo.
Yes.
How did you guys sort of get that?
Steve used to give me guitar lessons.
Okay.
And so that's how we got to sort of know each other. And I had a few people ask me to do solos on my project, because I would post like
snippets.
I post snippets and stuff online, and I had a few people approach me, which was very weird, because I'm just like, who am I? And you're contacting me.
Yeah.
But I knew how good Steve was, and I'm sure everyone's seen his stuff, and he's just amazing. So I kind of knew that he would knock it out of the park. And the particular section of that song, Pressure, is very there's a lot of musical changes to it, and I knew that his sort of jazz approach would be definitely fitting for it. It's a very fusion kind of solo, and he pretty much did it all in one take, and it was great. It was awesome. I couldn't believe it.
Just rocks up for 10 minutes and ditches.
Yeah.
So I saw on Facebook that you've been working on new songs for No Transitory, and you mentioned it previously as well. Can we expect more releases soon, or is it a bit far off still?
It's a bit far off only because of the move that's about to happen. But definitely this year. I think I regret saying that. There'll be a song out this year, I guarantee it. But yeah, it's all. I'm definitely going to be recording it this year. Whether it gets released in the new year or not is still to be seen.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to get a song out this year because the new stuff I'm working on is just like so different.
Yeah.
So in a good way.
So you're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I do want to ease people into the new EP.
Okay. Yeah. So your brother Mark lives in Australia.
Yes.
And you're going to be moving to the UK soon, in March.
Yes, that's right.
So what are your reasons for making the move, and is music the main motivator?
Music is the main motivator. We've kind of decided, if you and Mark's learned this from being in Melbourne, and he's recently taken a couple of trips to LA with another band that he's in Melbourne. And one thing that we've realized is that, if you have to be in a country sort of doing the grind, so to speak, in a band, playing all those shows and stuff, why wouldn't you be in the place you want to end up?
Yeah, just
what I mean?
Yeah.
New Zealand is great for that, but it's like we're a bit too small, and it's like, if you've got plans to move over there, why are you procrastinating about it?
Yeah.
And that's exactly why Mark's moved to Melbourne, and that's why I'm moving to the UK as well.
Yeah.
So it's all going to be a bit up in the air and a bit of a logistical nightmare to start off with. But there are a few bands out there that are making this kind of a concept work at the moment, and we just kind of want to follow suit and not waste any more time with it. Really, we just want to get up and go.
Get going. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your plans once you're there? Like, are you hoping to form a band around No Transitory there and start performing? So you are?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And are you going to be looking at like other things, other projects as well, or is that going to be your main?
I don't want to close myself off. Yeah. If I meet some great people and a new band starts, then that's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's happened to Mark in Melbourne, and they're amazing. And so if I could have an opportunity like that in the UK, then
totally.
all more power to me. But but I would definitely like to start a band. I put sort of too much time and energy into this already, just to be like, I'll just start a new band. So I kind of want to keep the ball rolling, and I just want to go out there and get part of the music scene, and then find some good people to record with, and then that'll be the next step.
Yeah. Because you could, I guess, keep it as the recording project.
Yeah. And
then potentially have someone else, have like another band that sort of does the live thing as well.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
So there's a lot of options, but it'll be wicked to get a No Transitory band.
Yeah. I'm sort of like chomping at the bit right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm too ready for it. It's been a while since I've properly played on stage with a band, so I'm definitely ready. That's the thing that I really enjoy most about music, is playing live.
Okay.
So I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Australia's got a really strong progressive scene with the likes of Carnival, Dead Letter Circus, and Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
And similarly in the UK, there's huge names like Tesseract, Sixth, and Monuments. Is it these influences that have drawn you guys overseas, like to these areas specifically? And do you find it intimidating or exciting to be directly joining such a vibrant scene with these pioneers?
Definitely not intimidating. I mean, internally, a little intimidating, but they're just guys like you and me. I think that's a big misconception. I think bands get to a certain level and everyone puts them on a pedestal, but these guys probably just I don't know. They're just like you and me, and so we shouldn't be intimidated by them. I just want to go out of my way and try to meet as many of these people as I can, and network with them, and get to just learn from them as well. I think more importantly, but that's definitely the reason for the move. Carnival is like one of our top bands. I'm not going to say that's the entire reason why Mark went to Melbourne was for them, but it's great to be in a place with those kinds of bands to see how they really operate. And Tesseract and Monuments over in the UK, the same thing. I'm just really excited to get over there and start working my ass off.
And it's in those countries, there's definitely like a really big like scene for that kind of music as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Like New Zealand, it's growing, but our progressive scene is quite small.
It is. Yeah.
Everything is pretty small.
It's just down to our population and the numbers, and what can you do?
I know.
I just have to go over there and immerse myself in it.
Yeah. So it's your goal to make music and to make music your career and life?
Yeah. I mean, I already feel like it is my career, like truthfully, but that doesn't correlate to an income at all. But it's the thing that I do that I enjoy the most. And I have a day job and I spend way more time doing music already. So I feel like, but one gives me money and one doesn't. It's so weird. It's so backwards. But it's definitely going to be my career.
Well, that's what you got to do to make it as well. You've got to basically work 2 jobs.
Yeah. Sometimes 3.
Yeah. So what do you think of the New Zealand music scene at the moment?
I'm going to be honest, I've kind of been out of it for a while. It's been a while since I've been to a show. The last band, I went out and saw Devilskin recently at the Power Station. That was a really good show.
Yeah.
What do I think of the New Zealand music scene? It's too small.
Yeah.
This is probably my biggest frustration with it is that, there's no shortage of good music. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's heart's in the right place and everyone is working hard and there are so many talented musicians, but there are very few people, I think, who are willing to take that leap forward, into a career and really make it everything, because it's such an intimidating industry and you can really get, beaten up and spit out the other end, with nothing. And that's probably what scares a lot of people, and New Zealand is so tiny. We do have such a small population and you can't support a musical career here. Unfortunately, I wish you could. If you could, I would stay here, but you just can't. Yeah. And I see too many bands, just come out of the gate swinging, and then they realize, I can't play the King's Arms every weekend. No one's coming to my shows. What the hell's happening? And then they give up and their band disbands, and it's like, it's kind of a waste, because it doesn't mean that the music's not good, and it doesn't mean that these people aren't. It doesn't mean the heart's not in the right place, but. Yeah, it's frustrating to say the least. It's frustrating. It's a big part of why I'm out of here, basically. Yeah.
Because it's sort of like I Am Giant made the move to the UK.
They did, yeah.
And that's boosted them massively.
Exactly, yeah.
And then Devil's doing a tour in the UK soon, and they have day jobs here. Like, they're one of New Zealand's biggest metal bands at the moment.
Exactly, yeah.
And they still have day jobs. So who's one musician that you'd love to share the stage with?
Can't ask me that. Only because I'm a complete fanboy, but probably Jared Leto. I know that might come out of left field a little bit, but I just think he's such an amazing singer and performer as well. Yeah. And I don't know, I'm such a fanboy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. He's pretty incredible, just multi-talented.
So multi-talented and just amazing. If it was a guitarist, probably Misha Mansour. That'd be probably a big one for me. Yeah. Either one of those two. Yeah. Hopefully both. Yeah. That'll never happen, but
Side project.
Yeah. Hey Jared, I know you're working on that next Oscar, but come on.
Come on. So what does 2016 have in store for you and No Transitory? What can we expect?
Whew. A lot more content's coming out. We filmed a whole bunch of videos recently. Sweet. And hoping to get those out finally. I'm editing myself, so that's probably why they haven't come out again.
But more of that procrastination.
This procrastinating guy, oh my gosh. Definitely a new EP recorded, maybe not released, and definitely a song out as well. Yeah. I'm planning on making a whole bunch of more videos as well myself. I don't know if I want them to be like vlogs, I kind of want to do it in the least cheesy way possible. I just want to let people know what I'm up to, basically. Yeah. Get some more content out there.
Diversify the content as well.
Exactly, yeah. And that's pretty much it. Keep it simple. The move over there is going to take up a lot of my time, unfortunately, and it's probably going to be very stressful. So it's going to take a while to get settled, but hopefully when the smoke clears, we'll be all ready to go.
Awesome. Good luck for that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, cheers, bro. It was awesome.
Yeah. And thank you for watching. Awesome.
Yes!
In the bag.
I did it! Hey guys, this is Michael from No Transitory, and this is Storytime.